Hi, everyone, and welcome to my home office. I am Pam Durant, the founder and managing director of Diapoint ME, the place for people touched by diabetes. I've been managing type 1 diabetes in my son since he was 20 months old. He's now a teenager, and I learned a lot about diabetes on the way. And a few years ago, several years ago, actually, I left the corporate world where I was working as a healthcare manager to start supporting people with diabetes through various different ways. So one thing that I decided to do this year is I often get asked so many questions, and it's very normal when someone has a new diagnosis and you're not sure what to do, how to do it, how to manage it, how to do all the things. And I'm not here to give you medical advice. You should please follow up with anything I say with your doctor if you have any questions. But because I've been doing this a while and I'm aware of what's happening in the world and the research and everything with diabetes, I want to share some basic information if you are newly diagnosed or you have a child that's newly diagnosed with diabetes that might be helpful. So first question almost always is, if I'm diagnosed with diabetes, can I have a normal lifestyle? Can I continue to do all the things that I love? Or if my child has been diagnosed with diabetes, can they continue to do all the things that they love? And the answer is yes, they absolutely can. If you have type 1 diabetes, that is the result of something happening in your body that's causing your pancreas to no longer work. So you do need to make some adjustments, some changes, stop in, check with your blood sugars and different things like this, but absolutely no reason should it stop you from doing anything. If you're maybe diagnosed with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, or there's some things that you could do differently, there might be, maybe. It depends on what your doctor has said to you about your insulin resistance, making healthy choices, living a healthy lifestyle, exercising more. All of these things help blood sugar. And if you have type 1 diabetes as well, you will also notice that if you're living a healthy lifestyle, you will have better outcomes. The way that you have to manage things might be slightly different than someone with type 2. However, the bottom line is diabetes should not stop anyone from doing anything. The next question I often get is, after a diagnosis, is should I travel? Someone might have some plans to travel for a summer holiday or something else, and then when diabetes comes in the picture, they're often terrified to do that. You should absolutely travel, definitely do it. I was very nervous, of course, the first few times that I traveled, but with the proper planning, the proper preparations, making sure you have all your medications, speaking with your doctor about anything you need, making sure you have enough supplies and all of those things, you can have a wonderful holiday with diabetes, just as wonderful as if you didn't. And there is no shame in having it. And you should absolutely travel if you love traveling. Don't ever stop doing it. You can actually find a free travel guide on the Diapoint website that might give you some more insight to some more detailed travel questions. Managing social situations. This can be so tricky because people are curious. People have a lot of misconceptions about diabetes and they're not really sure what to do, or they're not sure what to ask or what to say sometimes. If you or your child has diabetes, however, please don't stop being social. Children, it's especially important that they continue to carry on their life as normal and be social and hang out with their friends and do things like this. And for adults as well, we need social interaction and contact. If your doctor's asked you to make some lifestyle changes or things like this, and you're afraid to go to dinner, please don't be. It's so important that you learn how to live a healthy lifestyle and get out there and be social and continue to do what you love. Do not let diabetes stop you from being social. Should my child go to school? I get asked this sometimes. Some people get really terrified after a type 1 diagnosis. I know I was really worried and scared. It was tricky. And also the school nurse, thankfully, my son had a school nurse that was supportive and helpful. However, it didn't stop him from going to school. So I highly recommend sending your child to school. Work closely with the school health office and your teachers, your doctor, and everyone involved to make sure life goes on as usual. Here at Diapoint, and you'll see we have a course about managing type 1 in schools if you'd like to learn more about that. Should I let my child participate in Halloween? if they have type 1 diabetes. Of course they should. Or even any other festival or party or social event or tradition. It's so important that they feel the same socially and psychologically. And just like everything else, we don't want diabetes to stop them from doing this. Should I tell my friends or people I work with? That's probably up to you. Maybe on a need to know basis. You may not feel like telling everyone and having to explain all the time, or maybe you want to advocate if you have diabetes and you want to educate people and share that, and that is okay too. But for example, if you're an adult at work, if you're facing challenges because you have diabetes, then please inform your HR department. If you have a child at school facing issues, then please tell the teacher or escalate that to a principal. No one should face bullying or discrimination because they have diabetes, but who you choose to tell is up to you and on maybe a need to know basis. When people ask questions, how should I answer? So maybe you didn't tell so many people about it, but maybe some people are curious and they came to you and they asked questions. And again, that is up to you. You can choose to maybe advocate for yourself or advocate for other people with diabetes, depending on what the question is. You can make it an educational moment. I would do that sometimes as my son's mom, if people would ask questions. And sometimes I got some really crazy questions, and I would try to step back, take a deep breath, and remind myself that people really don't understand diabetes. So I take a deep breath and make it an educational moment sometimes. And sometimes I would just choose not to answer at all if the question was extremely absurd, or maybe I didn't have the time to really explain it and unpack everything. So it really depends. It's up to you because it's your body, it's your diabetes, how much you choose to share and answer. It's up to you. When to seek therapy? This is a difficult question because everyone is different. No two people with diabetes are alike. No two people without diabetes are alike. We all from time to time face challenges in our life where we feel we might need some extra help in the form of maybe psychotherapy or support groups or other things like that. So as an adult, if you feel challenged by diabetes, you just don't know where to maybe put everything, you're finding it really difficult to manage, maybe you're having burnout, then that could be a good time to go seek the support of a therapist. And it's also something that you could ask your doctor. The same thing goes for children. As the parent of a child, if you see your child struggling to maybe accept their new condition, or maybe they're challenged in certain social situations or things like that, then you may want to also seek the help of a professional. And also, if you're the parent of a child with diabetes or a chronic condition, it can be all-consuming, overwhelming. You can feel really upset and angry. And sometimes it's also good to get support to understand where to put those emotions as well. So never be afraid to reach out for help should you need it. This was a very brief of the most common psychological, social questions that I get asked about diabetes on new diagnosis. So please reach out if you have any questions.